Welcome to Riverbend Talon on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
Another Thursday night in the River Bend on a radio for the River Bend. The Big Z 107.1 FM every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Sea Shanty Sing Along already underway down to Morrison's Irish Pub, Everhard and Light, 7 to 9 tonight at Shea Maryland's. Open mic at the Conservatory at 8. Clover underway at Fast Eddie's until 10. Brandon Elliott underway up at George's Pub and Grill in Jerseyville until 9. Infatuation, the ultimate Rod Stewart experience, 7:30 tonight at the Wild E. Mike Sonderegger underway at Big Daddy's until 9 o'clock. Skylark Brothers underway until 9 o'clock at Peel Woodfire Pizza. Spencer McDowell underway until 9 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon. The House Shakers underway at Tegan's in Granite City. Rick Sievers and John Huber, half hour in already, and they go until 8:30 at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey tonight. Of course, Experience Live Music Row. And don't forget, if you want to participate in Rock the Hops, it's August 9th, and they're looking for venues. They're looking for artists. There's a link at cottonmouth.org, or you can go to rockthehopsalton.com. Early bird tickets available as well. And now we turn to the star of the show. The star of the show.
I don't know why you say that.
Well, I made you star.
The stars?
I don't know why you don't, say, thank you for making me a star.
See, I think the stars of the show are on their way in. They're about to be here.
Yes.
Very shortly.
But everyone calls this like Pigpen Radio and Pigpen this and Pigpen that.
Oh, I don't know about any of that. I do see the guys come walking in as we talk, though. So, we got the band Torchlight Parade coming back in. They will be in momentarily.
It's going to be fun to set their mics up live on the air.
Yeah.
That'll be neat.
Yeah, all right. Well, while we walk them in, you want to...
I want to do stuff?
You want to do some Friday gigs just to get us...
Well, let's see how much they remember. They were in the other room last time they were here. So
okay. All right.
I mean, they've been in some weird situations in their lives.
Maybe today, for all I know.
Possibly today.
We're going to find out. I think it's going to be exciting.
They know what they're doing. They're coming in.
Come on in. Come on in and grab a seat, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What's happening? Good to see you. Hello there. Hello.
We are one chair shy, Pigpen, if you want to roll down the hall and get one.
I'm going to get it.
All right. So, Torchlight Parade coming in too. Well, thank you very much. This shirt, the shirt is your shirt, of course. That's why it's a nice shirt. And so you two guys will have to share that microphone.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the chair.
We got
always happy to give up a chair.
You two guys, slide him over.
We're going to get this down. We got two brothers in the house, right, Matt?
And a son.
Yep. Matt, Doug, and it's my son, Sam.
So, your son? Okay. Now that one... I don't remember a son being in the gang last time.
All right, Matt. Matt, pull that microphone over a little towards him.
What's your son's name? Sam.
Rattlesnake Jake.
And then if Doug can pull his over towards...
the mic?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
There you go. Now we got it all set up live here right on the radio. It's a way to do it. Live radio.
I imagine there's probably a little traffic today.
Conrad the caterpillar. Yeah, remember that?
Conrad the caterpillar. I don't know what we're talking about.
I think you invented it.
He did.
You tracked me a memory there.
I'm sorry. I don't think I was here that day. I wasn't present.
I'm in the air right now.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
we are live on the air. I'm sorry. Your name, sir?
Conrad Haubrich.
You are Conrad. There now it's all. You're from St. Baldricks, right?
Right.
See, as soon as he said his name was Conrad, all of a sudden my two brain cells left alive both woke up at the same time. Conrad the caterpillar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so so we've had you gentlemen on before. However, Dennis just reminded me you weren't live. We pre-recorded the last one, so
Right.
So this is going to be a trial by fire. Things get really weird when it gets live.
Bring it on.
It's a lot weirder. No matter how high the watermark of weirdness, it's never enough, though. We'll keep pushing. So you guys, Matt, Doug, and son Sam,
Yeah.
all members of the Torchlight Parade.
Yeah. And we have a drummer. He couldn't make it.
Yeah.
What's the drummer's name?
Gavin.
Gavin.
Yeah,
Martin.
Gavin Martin. You know what?
New lineup since we talked to him.
And he goes by the Kraken. Yeah. See it on the drums. He's our drummer, and his arms are everywhere.
Well,
Lots of energy.
I can tell you where his arms aren't, and that's right here tonight. I don't know if he thinks he's too good or, anytime someone's missing in action, I feel like I can pick on them because they're not here. What are they going to do?
Yeah. His loss.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. You're going to find out.
So for an official introduction, Pigpen, not
right.
your kind of introduction, we have Matt Engel, the lead singer.
That's me.
That's Matt.
And embalmer.
His nephew,
Extraordinaire.
his nephew sitting next to him, Sam Engel, the bass player. You were in rock school the last time these guys were on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that's how I got my way started into this whole type of what do I say?
Parade.
Circus. Yeah.
Okay, parade. Yeah.
So he plays in another. So he plays with Torchlight, and then he plays with another band called Aragon. And they just a couple months ago they played down at the Fabulous Fox Theater. They made the all-teen talent.
Nice.
And they got
Awesome.
to play that stage.
Nice. That's a great stage right there.
Yeah.
Great room.
It's kind
You
of
get
like
to sign the wall too.
it's kind of hard to get a show there too.
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on what band you are.
Right. I know a lot of guys in bands, and I don't know any of them getting shows at the Fox, man.
Be on Channel 9 coming up too. So,
Oh, wow. That'll be cool.
Nice little
Yeah.
PBS action, huh?
Yeah.
All right, what was the name of the other band? Aragon?
yeah, Aragon.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then Doug,
Right.
Yeah.
Guitar player.
get fiddle player.
The only guitar player now.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Homework, man.
That's right. That's right. You had a third guitar player last time I talked to you about.
Yeah. Well, see, we had Danny was always with us, and another guy named Billy, and he was in a few different bands, whatever. But Danny, he was with us from the get-go, but we wanted him to stay so bad, but we've been doing a lot of more traveling and stuff, spreading out, and he just can't make those. And he's so much into the Star Wars. He's got the whole get up and these, $1,000 outfits, and he goes to all these conventions. So his time is in the other things too. So
He's my nerf herder.
yeah, Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah, we had to compete with Darth Vader. I guess.
Good luck, man.
Right.
Something dark side.
And also in the studio is Conrad, and he is the father of Brett, and the event is Rockin' with Brett. And also part of, as Pigpen mentioned, St. Baldricks Foundation, and welcome back, Conrad.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us on again this year.
Yeah, sure. And this all started when, it started to take off, and you guys ran into problems, and then Torchlight Parade kind of bailed you out, right? And found a venue. It was a castle, right? And put you over the top for that year, right?
Yeah, that's right. Prior to 2021, we did strictly a head shaving event, which is the annual head shaving event at Hilton Fitzgerald's Irish Grill and Pub. And they still do that every year in March. We still take part in that. And that was our main fundraiser, our main event, until 2021 when that event went virtual and teams couldn't get together in public to shave heads and raise money. So my friends from Torchlight Parade stepped forward, offered to turn a show they were doing at a party into a fundraiser for us. And it really helped us out. And it's gotten bigger every year since then because of these guys. So I can't thank them enough. And all the proceeds that we raise from every one of our fundraisers benefits the St. Baldricks Foundation, the nation's largest funder of pediatric cancer research grants. Nobody gives more funds to childhood cancer research grants than the St. Baldricks Foundation outside of the National Cancer Institute.
Wow, though that's huge right there, and I do. It took me a minute. See, sometimes it takes a minute for me to wake up and the synapses to start kicking and all the tumblers to fall into place. But last year, one of my good buddies, Jeff Nelson, took a part in this where everyone all offered money, gave up money, and he shaved his head on a whatever day it was. I don't remember. Should have been St. Patrick's Day. No, I think it was St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. See, it's all the time. It's like I'm waking up for the first time. Yeah. This is seriously when we first found out about this and I looked into it, I couldn't believe how big St. Baldricks is, because my buddy is the one who said, "Hey, I'm going to shave my head," and that's what got me interested last year. And I had no idea when he told me about it exactly how big this is. It is not just a local thing. This is going out, right? Nationwide, pretty much.
That's right. Yeah, it's a nationwide charity that funds research all over the world, really, not just in the United States. But it actually started with 3 executives who were doing quite well in life. They, as a challenge to one another, they shaved their heads and decided to turn that into a fundraiser for kids with cancer. And it went from there. And since 2005, the St. Baldricks Foundation has awarded more than $356 million to support life-saving cancer research for the kids.
Wow, that is amazing. That touches a lot of lives, not just a lot of children, but a lot of families, a lot of lives in general. That is a huge amount, and I mean, we talk about it all the time. Everybody has benefits going on when things go wrong, and this is a big one right here, because it's not just for one member of a community. It's for all the kids out there, who are affected by this, and all the families. So thanks so much for being a part of it, and you guys stepping in when things went bad and turning your party into a fundraiser. That's the way bands do it. It's always the bands that are out there doing it for the community when there's a benefit that's needed. Every musician I know steps up and goes, "Yeah, we'll do it," And you guys really go all the way with it. If I remember correct, it's a full-on show that sort of not just incorporates the band, but even sort of your jobs get involved, because you guys all work at a funeral home, right?
Correct.
Matt the embalmer, as we said.
Yeah.
Right. He's just reeking of embalming fluid when he came in. It's like
I smell like death. I know. 24/7.
And what do you do, Doug? You're the hearse driver?
Yep, driving the hearse.
See, my memories, I never remember anything.
I know where all the churches and cemeteries are.
If I ever want a tour of churches and cemeteries, where are you at? Where are you guys located? Lean on in a little.
St. Louis County.
St. Louis County, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking you were South County boys, but down in that area.
Yep.
So
if you're from Illinois, we can say that either way.
Everybody's
right.
South, yeah. And Sam, what are you doing? You put the cotton cork in? What do you know?
No, my job is to be the rattlesnake and make sure that no one pisses me off.
Okay, so you've got the coolest job so far. They hiring, man, because I could be your apprentice. No, that is interesting work, and so you guys have access to some weird things like caskets and hearses and such. And you've been known to bring them on stage.
That hole in that big old wooden casket, that's not fun for that thing. But there's a lot of, when we open up for like different bands or Pastor Pussycat, autographs, choir rights, bands like that. They'll get a picture with that casket. It's always kind of
Nice.
Yeah. And just to go back to a little backstory of the whole situation here with Rockin for Sam. Sam is Conrad's son, and he was diagnosed at 11 years old.
Brett. Yes.
That's okay.
Sam
Yeah,
is Doug. Yeah, Sam is Doug's.
Sorry.
Right.
No, sorry, Brett. I always get like emotional when I even try to say this because he was 11 years old. Brett was when he was diagnosed, and the journey began, and they were able to do a brand new technique thanks to some of the funding, right, that comes in and keep him around for a few more years. Not enough. He eventually passes away, but that's the backstory, and that's where Conrad gets involved, and you're part of the funeral home too, if I'm correct, right?
That's right. Yeah, we all work at the same funeral home.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a funeral director. So Doug and I see more of each other than I see of Matt. Matt works in a different part of the building, but
he's in the dungeon.
He's in the basement. Yeah.
No windows.
Yeah, so give us a little bit about that whole situation and how it come about, if you could.
Sure. Yeah, with our fundraising efforts.
Yeah. Well, the story with Brett, being diagnosed. At first, you were saying that they gave you all kinds of things besides cancer, and then eventually, it comes down to that's what it is.
You're right. Yeah. So in June of 2014, he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer called anaplastic astrocytoma. The symptoms included headaches, nausea, and eventually vomiting. The headaches were the first symptoms that we noticed. That was dismissed as ear infection, different sorts of viruses. Finally, after waking up vomiting from the pain, they ordered an MRI. That's when we got the news that a golf ball-sized mass was deep in his brain in the thalamus area. So we were rushed to St. Louis Children's Hospital. They were able to do a surgical procedure to relieve the pressure in his brain. The cerebral spinal fluid was building up in his head, which caused the pain, caused the headaches. Once they were able to relieve that, with a revolutionary new procedure at the time, which avoided a shunt being placed into his brain to drain the fluid. Once that procedure was done, the headaches went away, but we had to wait for biopsy results. When they finally came back, we were given the devastating news of this aggressive brain cancer. From then, we went on a journey which included the standard of care for this type of brain cancer, which is chemotherapy and radiation. That worked for a period, and then in January of 2016, an MRI showed regrowth, and at that point, we turned to another revolutionary procedure called a LIT procedure, which is laser institutional therapy, thermal therapy. And I think we talked about this maybe last time we were here. Yeah. It's amazing science. It's a small incision is made in the skull. A small probe is put in to the brain, through the brain, to the center of the tumor, guided by MRI imaging. And then the probe is ignited with heat, and it burns out the tumor from the inside, and then stops short of the healthy tissue to save that tissue, so there's fewer deficits involved.
Right.
And he had 3 of those done. He survived 3.5 years after diagnosis, but that science gave him a little more time with us.
Right. And he was only the second child ever to receive that treatment. That's how new it was.
Yeah, at least here in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah, he was scheduled to be the first one in St. Louis Children's Hospital, but there was a little girl that needed it. Her cancer was spreading rapidly, so they asked us to wait, which we did. She had the first procedure, and Brett had the second.
Yeah, and that's all made possible from funding and raising funds, and that's why new techniques are developed. And so, how have we done since then? Are we getting anywhere as far as cancer and treating this a little better?
Well, every day there's a scientist or a doctor in a lab someplace working on a cure, or at least a a more effective and less toxic treatment. And I tell anybody who asks me if they have a child going through something similar, just to hang in there. There's somebody working on a cure right now, and there's guys like Torchlight Parade who are doing their part too, raising money for the much needed research for these kids and for pediatric cancer research. So we're getting there, and we'll make it someday.
Yeah,
Man, the lit procedure. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. That's just as you explained it. I'm sitting here boggled, going, man, that sounds insane to me that you could get into the brain and not do damage to the healthy it's insane technology and crazy medicine that we're medical techniques that we got going on.
Yeah, we turned to that procedure because Brett wasn't eligible for a traditional craniotomy where they would operate on the brain with a traditional surgery. His tumor was so far into the brain, so deep, that any such traditional surgery would result in paralysis. So we couldn't do that to him.
But thank God for what they did to give you the extra 3 years. Cause I mean, all we have is time, and all we have is each other. Everything else is just things, so 3 years,
Yeah, and one important thing to know about Brett is that he always had a smile on his face, and he was always positive. And I mean, we know people that can't do that on a normal day. So that tells a lot about Brett's character right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had mentioned, too, about a hero fund, which if you raise a certain amount of money, then you can kind of control where that money goes to, is what I remember. Can you tell us a little about that? I think it was like a $10,000 once you raise that much.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Hero Fund program is something offered by the St. Baldricks Foundation. And if a fundraiser can commit to raising $10,000 every year, their funding goes into a special Hero Fund, and the family has the ability to direct that funding toward research that they're interested in. In our case, it's brain tumor research, or anything they want. So the St. Baldricks Foundation comes to us with a study proposal. We look it over, and we decide if we want to fund it. And we've actually funded one right here in the St. Louis area at St. Louis Children's Hospital through Dr. Joshua Rubin, who was actually one of Brett's oncologists.
Right.
He saw him in the office. We got to know him. The St. Baldricks Foundation approached us with this opportunity, not knowing that we knew Dr. Rubin. And they told us that Dr. Joshua Rubin at Children's Hospital had a study that he was planning, and asked us if we'd be interested in funding it. We thought, oh my gosh, we know Dr. Rubin. He knew Brett. So we approved it.
Right.
And it was a perfect match, and we're really happy about that. So all the money that we've raised from Torchlight Parade, from your listeners, from the people in the St. Louis area who have donated, have stayed right here in St. Louis through research at St. Louis Children's Hospital.
And I think that's interesting, because you do hear from time to time with charities like, I don't even know if that money's really going to what I'm donating to. But in this case, there's proof right there that it does. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Absolutely.
One of the things that always gets me, tugs on me, one of the things that always tugs on me is, they do these like make a wish, and Brett, he had to make a wish, and he could all kinds of stuff, but he wanted to be a priest. Mm-hmm. And so tell him about that, Conrad, what they did, how they did that.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish, another wonderful charity, approached us when they heard about Brett and his diagnosis, and they arranged a time to come over. Two young ladies came over and sat down with us and sat down with Brett and told him who they were, what Make-A-Wish did, and they offered to grant him a wish. He could go on a trip, he could meet a movie star or an athlete, do whatever he wanted. He politely declined and said, no, I don't really need anything. Maybe offer it to another kid. So he didn't want any part of it, but he was polite. So they left, came back a week or so later and took a different approach, and asked him what he wanted to do when he got older, when he grew up, as a way of maybe granting him a wish to see an athlete or meet an athlete. And when they asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, he said he'd like to be a priest. Well, the Make-A-Wish Foundation can't make you a priest, so but they were so touched by his interest in becoming a priest later in life that they told their parish priest, just kind of in passing after a mass one day in conversation. Well, this priest called the archbishop, and one thing led to another, and the archbishop let him serve mass with them on Holy Thursday at the Chrism Mass, and it was on the news, and he got his picture in the St. Louis Review. And what's funny, and you would have to know Brett, but he wasn't interested in being a priest that day necessarily. He just wanted to serve mass.
Right.
That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah. So he got his wish. That's interesting. Yeah.
What an interesting, I mean, the whole of the story where he gets a chance, meet somebody famous or take a trip, and he says, no, let someone, save it for someone. I mean, at what age is he saying that? Like, I'm not big enough to say that now. If I was offered a trip, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going on Branson," or whatever.
Yeah, that's what his mom said. Half joking, she said, "Brett, are you sure you don't want to go to Hawaii or go on a trip? Because they're offering this to you, and just because you take it doesn't mean another kid can't. They're offering it to you."
We can all go see it.
Right. You're going to need a chaperone. But I mean, the fact that at that age, he's saying, no, just let somebody else do that. I'm good. But then when they come back, he says he wants to be a priest. I mean, that's a wild wish right there, because like I say, most of the kids I know would be like, oh yeah, let's go to California. I want to meet somebody.
So 5 years now you've been doing Rockin' for Brett, right? 5th annual, right? And this year, April 26th.
That's right. Yeah, it is the 5th annual Rock for Brett Concert for a Cause, benefiting childhood cancer research. All the money we raise goes to the St. Baldricks Foundation. And it is Saturday, April 26th at the Arnold Eagles Hall with several acts. Some of them are returning. JoJo Matea is a young lady, a singer from Arizona, who's flying again into town this year to perform.
Her third year, right?
Her third year, yeah, right. She's flying into town again to perform for us. Wonderful young lady, beautiful voice, very charitable. We're so grateful that she does this for us every year. And then Aragon. St. Louis Teen Talent finalist Aragon, who put on an incredible show. They're a group of teenagers, incredibly talented and energetic. It's fun watching them play and listening to their music. They'll be on stage. The Nightmare and Alice Cooper Experience, who also puts on an incredible show. I mean, everything you would expect to see with an Alice Cooper concert, he brings to the show.
We just did a Toys for Tots with them, and
lean on into the mic.
We just did a Toys for Tots with them, and asked if they want to be a part of St. Baldricks. And Tony was like, Tony's the guy that plays Alice.
We'll call him Steven, though.
Yeah, Steven. He jumped right on it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm in. So
nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
Don't lose your head now.
I was gonna say, do they do the guillotine?
Oh, he's got the guillotine.
Yeah.
The snake. We get the snake from our friend Jim that travels with Alice. So they're official Alice Cooper snakes.
Oh wow! Look at that.
They don't just wrap Sam around his neck since he's a rattlesnake.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to have a rattlesnake around me too. But
I would love to have a rattlesnake wrapped in a rattlesnake. Oh man! So let me ask you about Aragon real quick, there, Sam.
Yeah.
What kind of because we've talked to Torchlight Parade. Those guys we know. No, we'll talk to them in a minute about their music. But real quick, you're a newcomer to the show. What kind of music we talking here? Heavy?
We're talking like alternative grunge.
Alternative, okay.
Sort of, because
Nice.
we are doing we cover Nirvana songs and Machine Head by was it Bush and stuff like
Okay.
that. So yeah,
Nice.
that's like our
We
main.
do some classic stuff too.
Yeah, we do like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that, and throwing
Excellent.
that in there with.
Any original stuff coming out of you youngsters yet?
We're working on something.
Working on it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to be working towards. I'm just, I'm looking at you going, you got a teenage band that's playing the Fox. What are they doing? And usually young guys are always drawn to the writing too.
This summer they're going to record their first song. So
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm glad we're doing covers because it gives Torchlight something to do with originals. So
Well, and I mean that's how you learn to play is you know.
And I think JoJo that night has a few original songs too. So
excellent. All right.
So let's talk about the Fox Theater thing. Back when we started the show, Pigpen, I was able to get the winner that year from this same competition I'm pretty sure they're talking about. And from what I remember, it's different artists from around St. Louis. They're all younger. And it's like a battle of the bands, right? But you got to get to the Fox, right? Is that how that works still?
Yeah, you have to get to the Fox.
How many was there?
Well, there's
like 5 or 6 tryouts.
Well, no, there's over 100 people competition, 100 acts. They only picked 14.
Okay.
So, like, Aragon was one of the 14.
But how many times did he have to?
Oh, audition?
Yeah.
They're like 4 times to get to make in front of, like, a huge empty room with just judges.
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, get up there and just play your heart out, buddy.
It's kind of boring when you got there because there was no one there. But then once you were on the stage, it's like, the fun begins.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the show.
Yeah, well, the show went actually pretty well. I did not see one person I knew in the audience, but
Was it pretty full?
Oh, it was full from head to toe.
Could you imagine that?
No, that I remember Club 367 mainly full, and you were like, "Oh, this is huge.
Yeah.
There's got to be 500 people here."
Yeah,
the Fox is huge and truly like such a beautiful venue. I think I would be distracted if I was because I'm always looking at the architecture of the place, and
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd be like, "Are we still on A? Because I'm playing A all night." Look, but no, so you got down to 14 bands by playing to an empty stage of judges. Then what do they do with the last 14? Do all 14 get to play? The show.
Yeah, they get to play as well. We watched them and stuff. After we did the Barracuda, we went around the school. We went to the back, and I forgot what we did then.
Oh, wait, I know. You ain't got to say.
Yeah.
They played Barracuda, and then like one guy will get up there and he'll be doing some acrobats and stuff, and then some girl will get up there and sing some song from a play or something.
So it's 14 acts. It's not 14 bands.
No. They were there was only 2 bands, and they were one of them. So.
Right.
Yeah, and you have to be over 12 years old to do it. So if you have any children that want to get on that.
4 years.
He was just in a week and a half ago. He was in they put him in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Next week he'll be in the St. Louis Call. So
yeah,
but
it's just funny.
But it is all youth, though, right? There's you can only be so old, too, right?
High school.
Yeah. It's all high school.
Between 12 and 19. I don't know.
I'm forgetting the name of the event, but I remember covering it back when we first started.
We'll have to cover it next year. See, I forget
Well, it's a St. Louis thing, so we always, we're over here focused on where the home of rock and roll is, on the east side of the river.
Side. Sorry, Chuck. Johnny Johnson came from Illinois.
That's right. So did Chuck, though. Chuck came over and jammed with him. So, we'll get into that story in another episode, or we did already.
If you're talking about Chuck Berry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know where his little mausoleum is over there. So.
We consider him the king of rock and roll, and we've proved it many times on this show. But it all started in East St. Louis on a New Year's Eve when Johnny Johnson, his saxophone player, had a stroke. And so he was looking for a replacement. Now, where are you going to find a replacement on New Year's Eve? Everybody's doing something. And they got Chuck Berry.
He was the best guy in St. Louis that wasn't booked on New Year's Eve that year.
Right. And then that trio ends up going to Chess Records, and, the rest is history. And that was the same year Elvis was getting started. So, I mean.
But somewhere between East St. Louis and Chicago, Johnny Johnson decided it's the Chuck Berry show because it was called the Johnny Johnson Trio up to that point. But right before they recorded it,
it's because he had a car.
He had a car.
Chuck
Heels
had a
are
car.
better. Wheels are better than heels.
That's right.
So anyway, how did we get into Chuck Berry and Johnny Johnson?
We do it a lot.
It's hard not to.
So
Chuck Berry.
That's all I think about. No, Ike Turner, right there in East St. Louis too. I mean, yeah.
Shut up, Tina.
I'm trying to work in here. Yo, shut up.
So Sam has played the Fox Theater, but his dad hasn't.
Not yet. Hey now, don't be cool now.
Neither has his uncle, though.
Yeah. So
And they won a scholarship.
Here, lean on into the microphone there a little bit.
You won didn't you win something? Scholarship or something?
Yeah, we won something in the frame. I don't remember. I can't recall what it was.
They won some of the money to go towards education, and then they won this guy named Steve. He helped them get them started and guide them, and a caretaker. Hey, I'll help you out in these things. So,
nice.
And they're going to try it again this year.
Just because his dad's doing a horrible job.
Yeah, sure.
You gotta pay somebody.
So that was their thing that they got. So it was pretty cool.
I think you mentioned last time you were here that Sam was a member of School of Rock, right? The St. Louis thing. Yeah. And I want to say the drummer was too, like his buddy. Yeah. Is this the same drummer or a different drummer?
Well, let's see here.
It seems like it's a different guy.
It's a long story, but Sam wanted to. I'll make it real quick. Sam wanted to start something with me. And I'm like, I already got this thing over here I'm doing. So
and his uncle, because his uncle taught him everything.
Anyways, and it's tugging at my heart. I'm like, well, how cool would that be to play with your kid on stage? Either you get it or you don't get it, And I was just like, it's hard to start a whole new project and get it going on. I'm like, well, what happened if we worked it out to where you and your buddy come over here and we'll just you come with us and you play with your old man,
Yeah.
So and it's cool when you're up there, we're playing and he's up there rocking out with me, man. There's it's
what the problem was Aragon had been mainly covers, and so I got kind of tired of that, and I wanted to use some original song and stuff like that, but we couldn't make a new project or something, so we had to go at the Torchlight, which was probably the best idea.
He came in the middle of a project we were on, so he winded up, the drummer Gavin and Sam winded up finishing off the album with us, and we call it Children of the Night.
Oh, okay.
So that's for you guys too. So
appreciate that.
But,
Nice.
he's on. And Sam wrote a song on there, and the song's called "Morticians Never Cry."
All right, is there any curse words in it?
No.
Okay,
That's got Teddy Zigzag on there.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Keyboards, right?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Tell us about Teddy. For
Teddy,
people who don't know who that is.
Teddy Zigzag, famous Teddy Zigzag. He played with Carole King, played with Billy Bob Thornton, Alice Cooper, Michael Jackson, Guns N' Roses in their heyday, and Walter Trout. And this last summer he was traveling with Slash, and they had the #1 blues album. I can't believe that, all summer long. And anyways, Teddy recorded that with us when he was on tour with Slash this summer. So, but
now is Teddy going to make it to the April 26th show?
no, he lives in California, Van Nuys. So
he does sit in with you guys every now and
he
again.
has. He's came and done a show with us, and
He's with
he'll be
with Walter Trout too.
Right.
Dude, what a great blues guy.
Yeah, there's a song on there called "I'm Not Dead Yet,"
Okay.
and actually we wrote that about Walter Trout because he
Is that the one Sam wrote?
No, Sam did "Morticians Never Cry."
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would know.
I see that song as like metal, but it's kind of about
Yeah, it's childproof.
it's kind of about what their jobs are about. So I wrote the song, put two parts together really, because and then he did the rest of it with the lyrics and the song title and all that.
Nice.
And I don't know if you heard, the last time we were here, we probably just had Never Laugh When Rehearsals by. And our first song had Sam Bam Colton on there. And he just got on with Godsmack recently. So it's pretty cool. Good for Sam.
Yeah, nice. I do remember the hearse. What was it called again?
Never Laugh When a Hearse Rolls By. The old nursery rhyme. You ever heard that one?
Never laugh when a hearse rolls by.
Yeah.
Give us the nursery
Or
rhyme.
you'll be the next to die.
Scary. Okay, so we.
There's a booklet in it, too.
Yeah, there's a booklet in there.
Wow. Here,
I don't have time to read it right now.
No, you're fine.
I do. I'm not doing anything right now. I'm like free for a while.
Doug, what else do you have for him?
Oh, yeah. So who was the large?
Remember, these guys are the kings of merch. They're like the Kiss of the river band.
I do remember we were in the room next door, and there's a big table in the room, and they completely covered it. They had hot sauce.
Yeah.
They had beach balls that we used in my swimming pool the whole year. I still have a metal water bottle that says Torchlight Parade on it that I use.
I have a thermos.
You go,
That was awesome.
Well, this here is from our spring collection. And
I want a shirt. I got 2 already, but I'll take another.
All right.
keep calm and embalm.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wearing it now.
I'm not going to spoil this yet.
Okay, nice. Keep calm and embalm.
And that one is Frankenstein of Death.
Which was created by...
Well, that's my son made that shirt.
Yeah.
Designed it.
Frankenstein of Death is a video you got.
That's one of our songs off that album there.
Pretty amazing video, too. I checked it out today.
The bag. Yeah.
He didn't also... He did he did the shirt and when you open the record, too.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah, we talked about it after you guys left, how it was insane how much merch you have. But again, not thinking about that when we're talking until he said it, and suddenly I remembered all that. How you guys had your own hot sauce? How in the heck do you is that just somebody else's hot sauce and you put a sticker on it or what?
All had to be ordered.
Oh wow! Was it your own recipe?
That's your call.
Dude, that's our secret. It's in the safe.
Right? Birds of Squalor's got hot sauce now. I think they listened to the interview.
Do they?
Well, Chris Van Hay checks out our interview.
Yeah.
So.
Ours was named after, it was Holy Fire hot sauce.
I remember that. That was the first time I've seen a band with hot sauce. I've seen a lot of weird merch through the years, but yeah.
It's a hot seller.
Part in the part.
I'm out of here after that. No.
Tip your bartenders and waitresses.
Alice
I'll be here
Cooper's
always.
got some hot sauce, too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, he copied off us, though.
No.
So we got a lot going on around the river bend again this weekend, and these guys come all the way over from South St. Louis, so we're going to let them have most of the time, but I do want to touch on a few things. You got the late-night jazz band at the Conservatory on Friday night, Lonesome Blues down to Cat Daddy's and Alton on Friday night, and down at Bubby and Sissy's, they're having the Miss Bubby and Sissy's pageant with the return of the 2024 Queen, Amazing Grace, going on down at Bubby's and Sissy's on Friday night. Leadfoot out at the Tri-County Rod and Gun Club, and we got Omega Fest featuring Mike Redenbow, Scott and Michelle, the Franklins, and Anthem down at the Mill, 7 o'clock on Friday night. So that's just a few things going on Friday night. And I want you to look down to, you've said this name before, Pigpen, but I love throwing names at you.
All right, where am I going?
The bottom of Friday, Cabinet Judy Creek. Tell me who's playing.
The Lucky Horseshoes.
Or with a W.
Horseshoes, yeah. So there you go. So there you go. Lucky Horseshoes, 7 to 11.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, we got Critters and Creatures, an art opening, and Psychedelic Symphony doing that at Mooneyham Arts at Old Milton School. So they're keeping things rolling there. We got Midnight in Babylon presents Myanmar, I think is how that's
Myanmar.
Yeah, 8 o'clock at the Conservatory in Alton, and I believe that's hip-hop, Pigpen.
Okay.
So we got, what else? BC Homegrown doing the franchise down in Wood River on a Saturday. We got Head Trip 102 up at the Hog Pit in Grafton, and everything's fired back up in Grafton, including Flip the Frog on Saturday at the loading dock and the Blue Moon Blues Band at the Grafton Winery. They're back at it in Grafton. How about Tyrannosaurus Rex? They're going to be down at the Manhattan Social Club on Saturday. So there's a bunch more going on.
Here's one Saturday. We on Saturday are Salunatics. 8:30 to 12:30 at Deutz Village Inn. I don't know. The name jumped out at me. The Salunatics.
That would be one you would like.
It is one I like.
So we got the Trinity's Way Trivia Night on Sunday at the Alton Moose at 5 o'clock, helping out Trinity's Way. They'll be going around picking up the trash for folks who don't know where the trash cans are. Right. And also Psychedelic Symphony at Shea Maryland's on Sunday. So all kinds of stuff going on. And you can find it all at cottonmouth.org. And we apologize that we're not going to get much more than that on the show tonight, because we are talking about a very important event taking place on April 26th at the Eagles Hall in Arnold. That's on Jeffco and Arnold. And we're going to be raising some money. And what a lineup. You got JoJo Madeo. You got Aragon. I've heard of those guys now. And the Nightmare. So here we go. We got the official flyer. We'll hold that up in front of the camera.
Yep.
Oh, you already
got
did
it.
that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And so some Alice Cooper tribute. Some Aragon grunge. Right? And Torchlight Parade. Remember those guys? They got a brand new release out. Children of the Night. It hasn't been out that long, has it?
No, it came out on Halloween, the day of.
I'm not surprised. Not even a little bit. All Hallows Eve.
And what a crazy video for Frankenstein of Death.
Thanks for watching it. Yeah, that's cool one.
You would enjoy it, Big.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I have not seen
another
it,
one
but I'm going to check it out.
I call her Mausoleum, and it's an AI one, but it's pretty cool to watch.
Okay.
And I checked out Love Is the Answer, too. That's about a month old. As far as YouTube's concerned.
And that was off the second album, but as far as YouTube, you're right.
Yeah.
Love is the answer to most of my problems. Money's the rest.
So here's something about Torchlight Parade. They were nominated the best local band by STL Headliner for 2022. 23 and 24, Big Ben.
Wowzers. Not very nice, gentlemen.
Yeah. Is there any other bands in that competition, or is it just you guys?
El Monstero.
All those guys don't count. Nobody's ever even heard of those guys.
Was only kidding, but that's pretty amazing. 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
You guys have been on the television stations over there in St. Louis, I remember, a
few of them on the news.
Like Fox or whatever it does their little segment.
The police blotter don't count, bro. You can't brag about being on the news.
It was funny. I say the news. I'm just going to keep it at that. My brother decides to take there's a guy that comes with us, and he's seen Alice a ton of times. And Baby Jax will go on stage with Alice every once in a while. Anyways, we had it on the news with us.
It's a baby doll.
It's a plastic baby doll. So my brother just kind of throws it off, but all of a sudden people are, you threw the doll. It's a plastic doll.
It was like 8 o'clock in the morning live, Fox News.
We're playing Run, Run, Rudolph.
But heavy metal. And then I said, there goes Rudolph whizzing like a merry-go-round, and I chucked the baby across the, people so sensitive.
My wife's grandma's like, I can't believe it. Like, it's a joke. It's rock and roll,
It's still better than Eric Clapton, man. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Theatrics a big part of the Torchlight Parade show. And you guys are always up to something new for every show, right? So you got something big planned for this one on April 26th?
Yeah.
Chucking babies, probably. My daddy was a baby chucker before me and his dad.
Could throw Alice Cooper's head somewhere.
That would be awesome. Fight the head off Alice Cooper. Take that, Ozzy.
So we'll have like our Frankenstein, and we got a song called Haddonfield. We have Michael out there, and
We got the Wolfman.
the Wolfman, my little guy, my youngest. He plays the Wolfman, and then we got our big kettle drums and stuff.
Bagpipes still do it?
Bagpipes will be there. Yep. Got the bagpipes. Yeah. So yeah, it's fun though. So, but we used to carry that big coffin around, but that thing, man, you gotta have a truck and haul it. I mean, it's cool when it's there.
You got hearses, man.
You got a hearse,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, you can it's a hearse only is a 3-seater, but
Right.
Hey, Conrad, can you also fill us in on the? There'll be baskets and other things,
Yeah.
pizza.
We were talking about the booze wheelbarrow last time.
Yeah, we might have one of those too. We're still working on some of the specifics of what we'll have there in terms of the types of baskets, whether we'll have a wheelbarrow of booze or not. But it's going to be a night of fun. Not only is there the great music, we'll have a silent auction, raffle baskets 50-50. We'll have food available. So if you're hungry, you can have a slice of pizza, a pretzel, something that you would expect to see at a rock concert. Fun. All the funds we raise from the food also goes to the St. Baldricks Foundation. It's $20 in advance, $25 at the door. The bar will be open. There's $20 drink bracelets available for that. You would go to the bar through the Eagles to get that at the event. But it's going to be a night of fun. So yeah, not only music and snack type food, but if you like the baskets, bidding on those, silent auction items, the 50-50 tickets are always a really popular thing there. You'll get all that too.
Nice. I mean, and it's all for such a great cause.
It is.
And then after hearing how, not only is it for a great cause no matter where it goes, hearing that some of this money's staying local. Right here with St. Louis Children, so or at least it has in the past.
Yeah,
so,
we do our best to keep it here. But
hey, wherever it's needed is where it's needed.
There's
man.
Promising research elsewhere. We'll
research will
help
be
out.
back here.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter where it's found; it'll get here. So,
and it's cool that you know where it's going too. That's just the best part of it, I think.
Yeah, we have some control over it through the Hero Fund program.
So this is all taking place once again April 26th, Rockin' for Brett, 5th annual. And it's at Arnold's Eagle Hall off Jeffco in Arnold. So definitely get out and check out Torchlight Parade and all their friends. And boy, do they have some friends.
Well, let's hear some Torchlight Parade. Did you ever get that lined up?
We're gonna play that.
I'm getting excited.
I hope
With my friends.
we'll do
I'm a little
that.
chubby.
let's get the bagpipers on that. Dancing with my friends or Dancing with the Dead.
Well, that's not the one I got queued up.
Oh no, whatever you want.
I got Sam's song queued up.
Uh-oh.
Morticians Never Cry.
All right.
Since, he's the newbie here.
Right.
Right. At our show.
Yeah.
Because you were in the band last time we talked. I think you were just getting started with them.
Oh, with the
With Torchlight, yeah.
yeah.
He had to graduate School of Rock
That's
first.
right.
He had to play the Fox before he got on with
Right.
it.
You have to.
Hey, man, you got it.
You have to do something better than me than what that you had.
All right, so let's give this a little listen here as we check out Torchlight Parade on Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Madman Voorhis of Macias Insurance.
Yo, please, you Yes, you will cremate. Hold all your remains. I'll bring life of flame.
That's Torchlight Parade on Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. The song's called Morticians Never Cry, and these guys would know whether morticians cry or not because they're in the biz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work at a funeral.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, at least not Sam. Sam's he's just a rattlesnake.
He's just a rattlesnake.
But Matt, Doug, and Conrad the Caterpillar.
Conrad Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Conrad Twitty.
Hello, darling.
It's good to see you.
I love what Conrad.
Oh, sorry.
I love what Conrad said last time you were doing that. He was like, "I'm going to hear this tomorrow."
I'm sorry. Not a lot of filter. My thoughts just come out my mouth.
Torchlight Parade is a lot of fun, and that's what their shows are about. And why not raise some money while you're having lots of fun? And that's the plan on April 28th at the Arnold Eagle Hall off Jeffco in Arnold, the St. Baldricks Foundation. 5th annual Rockin for Brett. Man, 5 already, guys. And you know, I bring up Halpin Music because you know, they told a story last time they were here. I believe it was Doug. Doug went to a drum clinic at Sound Spot with Carmine Apiece.
I would, yeah.
Carmine. Well, me and my brother, we both played with Carmine. Last year, I seen his brother.
I taught Carmine everything he knows.
Yeah.
I wrote a just
song.
right.
On the King Cobra, one of their albums, I wrote one of their songs called Knock 'Em Dead.
Well, that's a great segue because before Sam was the bass player in the band, this guy named Johnny Rod who played with the Wasp.
That's right.
And King Cobra. Right.
That's one of his favorite songs, actually.
I have it on vinyl, man. I still got that Wasp on vinyl.
He was one of the original creators of the band, right?
Yeah,
It
a
was-
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, spawn
He
off
was
of
going
him.
to church with me, and we bumped into each other, and
Yeah, we see what happened there. I think we're playing Wild Child on our set list.
not this one, no, because we're playing May 2nd at Charlotte's Pub.
Right.
We play Wild Child at that show.
That'd be perfect at Charlotte.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, people dig that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That place is heavy.
You know, another celebrity pigpen, kind of friend of Axl Rose, Stump.
Stump.
Yeah. He was in a band with their third guitar player, Billy,
Wow.
who's no longer in the band, but
Well, Billy's busy. He's busy doing Star Wars stuff.
you were a big Stump fan, though,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
in that interview.
I'm a big Stump fan now. Also a big Star Wars fan. Who's been nerf herder? I don't know.
You could probably
This guy gets
throw
it.
Stump across the stage.
I was once in a stump throwing contest. They called us lumberjacks and they paid us by the hour, but whatever.
So one band we didn't talk about that I seen on your list that you guys played with was Green Jelly.
Oh, wow.
Is that one? I don't know.
I wanted to bring that one
I don't
up.
think that ever happened.
Oh,
I
okay.
was supposed to play with them a long time ago, and then something happened where I think we wound up playing with Jim Dandy.
Okay.
Black
I'm
Oak.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
It was very smoky in there. That's all I can
Let me
say.
ask this. Did Black Oak, Arkansas show up? Because it's a 50-50 chance for
They
those
did
guys
show
if they're
up.
going to show
They
up.
did. You want to hear my Jim Dandy story?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm sitting in the green room there, and I was putting on my boots. And anyway, the curtain comes open, and Jim Dandy comes rolling in, and he's got his vest on with his foxtails hanging on him and that, and he's just Jim Dandy, he's in his
Right.
glory. Anyway, he sits down like right next to me, and when he slams into the chair like a safe landing, he like slides right up to me, and he doesn't say a word, and I'm still kind of putting on my boots, and anyway, he takes a big old joint, pulls it out, and he lights it up right there, and he takes a big old drag and blows it, and then he like nudges me with his elbow, and I look over and he's got it right in my face. He goes, "Jim Dandy."
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Jim Dan. So what's the guitar player's name? Been with him forever.
There's Tim Rossi.
I was thinking it was Ricky. Man, he was like an original Black Oak, Arkansas guy. So I've run sound with those guys a few times, and one of the times, the guitar player comes up on stage and he's having trouble getting started, and he's complaining about the amp. He had borrowed an amp from the opening band and it wasn't working, and he's really throwing a fit. And we go up there and his guitar is just not plugged into the amp. There's just a cord laying on the ground, and he's throwing a fit like it's somebody else's problem. I'm like, oh, you are such a rock star. It's hard to take guys like that serious. You know what I mean?
So Sam asked the drummer for an autograph, and he had a stick. He goes, "Yeah." Well, he's sitting there. He's got the pen, and he's got it. He hands the stick back to him, and he looks at nothing signed.
Just keeps the pen. Thanks for the pen, buddy.
Dude, I don't know what was going on up there.
Yeah, I thought I was wasted till I met those guys. I was like, I'm doing so good. I remember to plug my guitar in 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, not only that guy, but I'm kind of good buddies with what's his name, Skid Row.
Oh, okay. I hung out with those guys. I hung out with those cats. I walked into a grocery store, Sebastian, in Kansas City, in the middle of the day, and he had had those pants that are all cut out, and he ain't got no skivvies on underneath it. And these old, it was middle of the day on a Tuesday, so it's like older ladies, and they're kind of looking at him, and he's just shaking it for them.
Sebastian's everybody's friend. He just seems like one of those guys.
The week that I hung out with those guys, I hung out with Rachel, I think was his name, the bass player. the most out of them. But they all super cool guys, man. Great shows.
So get out and check out Torchlight Parade and help raise some funds for pediatric cancer. St. Baldricks Foundation, 5th annual Rockin for Brett, April 26th. At Arnold's Eagle Hall in Arnold. And after you see that show, you're going to want to see the May 2nd show at Charlotte Pub. And then you're going to want to travel to Quincy, Illinois, where they're going to be playing the Quincy Raceway on May 31st.
Yeah, you can get all that information at torchlightparade.com.
Nice.
And check us out on Facebook at St. Louis Metal Torchlight Parade.
Yeah.
Metal band, is that right?
Torchlight
Metal Band.
Torchlight Parade comes right up when you search for it on YouTube, at least in my browser, because I'm always checking out their videos.
In your browser, it says Porchlight Parade.
I almost called it Port Cafe earlier.
But hey, guys.
Check out the new CD, too, Children of the Night.
Yeah, absolutely. But don't forget, as you're checking out Children of the Night, you still should never laugh when a hearse goes by.
Right.
Because, why? Oh, yeah, you might be the next
to die. And you can go on tell them about it. We're all on Spotify, Amazon.
Yeah.
Go on.
We're on Spotify and stuff like that.
all streaming services.
Yeah. And so is all of our music.
So, Sam, tell them how to spell your band's name so they can search it.
What's that?
Tell them how to spell your band's name so they can search it. Because
it's on his T-shirt, man.
No, you got to tell the people.
Aragon.
There you go.
Aragon.
I was going to have Sam do it since he's the rookie here, but he failed.
ORCHLIGHTPARAD.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
that's why I took the easy one.
Are you just on TikTok or something? Snapchat or?
We're on TikTok and Instagram.
You guys need to just link his band on your website.
You can also catch Doug on Pornhub. No. That was a different Doug, I guess.
It's Pigpen.
Look, you go to my site, you're going to want to scrub your browser. That's all I'm saying. Hey, guys, seriously, thanks so much for coming down. I know it was a long haul to get here. And seriously, thanks for everything that you guys are doing. Conrad, the caterpillar here heading the way for St. Baldricks and you guys coming in with the entertainment. It's just a great cause, and can't thank you enough for what you're doing, man.
Well, thanks you for having us.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Everybody get out and check them out. Check out their music on any streaming site you can find them. Torchlight Parade. See, I did the same thing you did. Torchlight Parade.
Go to our merch table. We got the vinyl, and it's green splatter vinyl.
Oh, nice.
We say so many band names, Pigpen. They're all running together.
They do.
Kind of like your thoughts.
Nothing but word salad over here, man. Just saying words, hoping they make sense. No, hey, everybody, it makes sense for you to all. Make sure you go to Halpin Music if you got any musical needs. They've been supporting us for 10 years now.
Have we even mentioned Matt Van Voort?
I mention Matt Van Voort in my own mind constantly. He's all I think about.
Is that not too far from here?
Yeah, Halpin Music.
Yeah.
It is.
We played it with Carmine.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, that is just up the road. They've been a sponsor of this particular show for 10 years now.
They're in a different building since you've seen them.
Yeah.
But they had the big windows. You were in that building.
Right.
Big circle window?
Yeah,
that was cool, man.
Yeah.
Now they're actually closer to my house, though. So,
Yeah, that's good.
they're real close. I could almost walk in.
And right across from the dispensary.
I could stagger there.
I mean, one-stop shopping.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah. I got everything I need, man. I'm going home.
Jim Dandy works there.
Jim Dandy's never worked anywhere in his life. That man has never filed taxes once. He trades goats for whatever he's got. I don't know. I guarantee it. I met he's got a 23-year-old wife, and he gave her dad 2 goats for or something. I saw it happen. I was there. I was down in Arkansas. fake news.
Black Oak, Arkansas.
Anyway,
He's going to look you up, Big Ben.
hey, he's got my number, man. He can call me anytime. Hey, big thanks again to Torchlight Parade and, of course, Sam from
Torchlight Parade.
No, you're messing me up. Torchlight Parade. It's a funeral, man. Anyway, and Sam, not only from Torchlight Parade, but from Aragon.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Good to meet you, buddy. We will have to have you come back again. And everybody support the St. Baldricks. Even if you don't go in, you can actually go online and you can get money to them very easily through donating to someone who's shaving their head, or I'm sure if you look, there's just going to be a donate button somewhere on their website.
For
So
sure,
if you can't make it out to the show, it's a great cause. Give to it. But everybody get out April 26th, once again, to the Arnold Eagles Hall in Arnold, Missouri. And make sure whatever you're going to do, get out and support local music and art.